Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how to successfully complete a surface area constructed response using the RACE strategy and rubric. This is where you answer in complete sentences showing all of your work. So, in your surface area notebook, we have two different constructed responses. We have the surface area constructed response number 1 with a tint, and we have number 2 talking about a roof. So today I am going to be working with you on the first constructed response so that you feel better prepared to complete surface area constructed response number 2 to turn in for a grade. So let's jump right in. It says that MC Cannon bought the tent shown. It has fabric covering all 4 sides and the floor. What is the minimum amount of fabric needed to construct the tent? So, I see here that this tent is in the shape of a triangular prism. So that gives me some ideas. But let's look at the RACE strategy. The R and the A is for restating and answering. Well, I can't restate and answer until I complete part C, which is for calculating. So I'm going to go ahead and start my work so that I have something to restate and answer. So seeing that this is a triangular prism, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw a net of this shape. And remember, your net does not have to be perfect. You just try your best. Okay, and now that I have a net here, I am going to go ahead and choose to write all of my numbers in that's being represented here on this tent. So let's start with these triangles. We have 2 congruent triangles, and it shows us at the measurement that the base of the triangle is 6, and it shows us that the height here of this triangle face is 4. So that means down here is also 6. And my height for this triangle down here is also 4, since they are congruent. Now, let's look at the base. We know that the base of a triangular prism is a quadrilateral. So we have a rectangle down here that's 6, which I already have labeled, by 8. So I now know that these sides are 8 feet. And since I know that these sides are 8 feet, I know across it, these sides are also 8 feet. But I'm not done yet because I have some sides here that I need to fill in. These are the congruent rectangular sides. And I see that it has a base of 8 feet, which I have here on my net, and a height of 5 feet. So that's what I need to fill in on my net here. Okay, so now that all of my information is written down onto there, I am going to go into each one of my shapes and calculate the area for them. Each face. So let's look at this side here. It has a base of 8 and a height of 5, or I can look at it as a base of 5 and a height of 8. Either way, it is 5 times 8, and 5 times 8 is 40. And I know that this side is congruent to this other rectangular side, so it is also 40. And now let's look at the base. I see that it's a 6 by 8, and 6 times 8 is 48. So I'm done there. And now I need to calculate my triangle. And let me show you another way that makes it super easy for you to write it. So looking at my base, I know that my base is an 8 times 6, and that equals 48 square feet. And now I have my side 1, and that side 1 is a 8 times 5, and that equals 40 square feet. And side 2 which is also 8 times 5 to equal 40 square feet. And now I have to find the area of my triangle 1 and my triangle 2. So remember, these are congruent, so I only have to solve for the first one. So I know that to solve for a triangle, the area is base times height, and then divide that answer by 2. So for this triangle, I see that the base is 6 times a height of 4. And 6 times 4 gives me 24. So now I need to divide that 24 divided by 2, and that gives me 12 square feet. All right, so it will be the same data here for my second triangle. All right, so there we have it. I have now solved for all of the faces of this triangular prism. So I don't have the total yet. So now I need to take all of my areas here and I need to add them together. So 48 plus 40 plus 40 plus 12 plus 12, and I get 152. So I now know that the total that I would at least need is 152 square feet. That's my total surface area of this tent. And it asked me, what is the minimum amount of fabric needed to construct the tent? Well, I know I need at least 152 square feet in order to cover this whole tent. All right, so now that I have done all of that work, I am going to go to my race, I'm going to do a rough draft. I've already done C, that was shown in my work box. All right, so let's do the R and A now that we have an answer. So we see that our answer is that there is a total, and let me go ahead and, there is the minimum amount of fabric, because remember we have to answer by restating the question and answering in a complete sentence. So here's the very first sentence of my final draft. It's going to say that the minimum amount of fabric needed to construct the tent that Mr. Cannon bought is 152 square feet. Okay, now remember, this on paper is just a rough draft. So now I'm going to go ahead and explain how I got my answer. And this is where somebody should be able to read your work and know exactly what you were thinking as you did this. So for mine, I said to find my answer, I had to calculate the surface area of the tent, which is in the shape of a triangular prism. Drawing a net of the prism, I found the area of each face and the base. The base is a parallelogram. So to find the area, I must multiply the base times the height, 8 feet and 6 feet. The area of the base is 48 square feet. Next, I found the area of one of the tent sides. It is also a parallelogram with the dimensions of 8 feet and 5 feet. So the area is 40 square feet. That means that the opposite congruent face also has an area of 40 square feet. Lastly, I found the area of my triangle face by using the formula of base times height, then divided by 2. So my calculation was to multiply 6 times 4, which equals 24. Then I divided that by 2 to get the area of 12 square feet. Since I know that the triangle faces of a triangular prism are congruent, that means that the other one is also 12 also 12 square feet. Now that I have calculated the areas of each face, I add them all together for the total surface area of the whole tent and floor. That's 48 plus 40 plus 40 plus 12 plus 12 equals 152 square feet. So this is my rough draft, guys. My R and A. My calculations are shown in my workbox. And then to find my answer, after I found my answer, I explained exactly the process that I went through. So, and the work isn't shown right here, it's on the other slide, but you can see how I pieced my R and A together and put that as the first sentence, and my explanation is all of the rest. So my final product is the minimum amount of fabric needed to construct the tent that Mr. Cannon bought is 152 square feet. To find my answer, I had to calculate the surface area of the tent, which is in the shape of a triangular prism. Drawing a net of the prism, I found the area of each face and the base. The base is a parallelogram, so to find the area, I must multiply the base times the height, 8 feet and 6 feet. The area of the base is 48 square feet. Next, I found the area of one of the tent sides. It is also a parallelogram with the dimensions of 8 feet and 5 feet, so the area is 40 square feet. That means that the opposite congruent face also has an area of 40 square feet. Lastly, I found the area of my triangle face by using the formula of base times height, then divided by 2. So my calculation was to multiply 6 times 4, which equals 24. Then I divided that by 2 to get the area of 12 square feet. Since I know that the triangle faces of a triangular prism are congruent, that means that the other one is also 12 square feet. Now that I have calculated the areas of each face, I add them all together for the total surface area of the whole tent and floor. 48 plus 40 plus 40 plus 12 plus 12 equals 152 square feet. Now notice at the bottom, guys, of your writing checklist, it asks for you to check each one of these off. So you want to make sure the first one, I use correct capitalization in each sentence. Next, I use correct ending punctuation for each sentence. Then, there is enough space between the words and in between the sentences. And I proofread my writing to make sure that it makes sense. Then I rechecked my math work, and I explained my thinking clearly. And last, I did not skip any steps of the race strategy. Okay, guys, so I hope that this helped. I hope that you have a better idea of what is expected of you for your work to be shown and also for your writing. I look forward to reading what you have done for your second constructed response. That is for a grade. Have a great day.